In this simulation, we'll be covering the most common use cases for the blank S-ledger. As part of those use cases, we'll include how to attach both the ledger bracket and the 45-degree angled bracket, which are used in the scenarios that we'll review here. Before we get started, here's a list of the recommended tools and safety equipment you'll want to have on hand when working with our Evolution steel framing product. Know that all posts must be temporarily braced until fully stabilized and permanently connected with framing or other structural members. For deck frames, this means that all beams, joists, hangers, and any blocking that shores up the structure should be in place before the bracing can be removed. In short, the deck frame should be fully assembled and secured first before bracing is removed from the assembly. The first thing to take into consideration about the blank ledger is the fact that it is literally blank, meaning it has no pre-punched slots or holes. So it's more like a traditional wood ledger board. It also means that you'll have to take drilling the holes for the blank ledger's mounting bolts into consideration. Although Fortress Building Products recommends using 3/8-inch diameter through bolts, your local building and code requirements will state what can be used here, along with the requirements for required bolt spacing. Our blank S-ledger will most often come into use when something cannot be completed or easily accomplished with one of our pre-cut on-center S-ledger options, which will most often be seen in two cases. The first is when there might be a lot of sporadic spacing of joists and blocking. This can occur as part of a design requirement for supporting something like a decking pattern. In these cases, you can utilize our ledger bracket. This bracket has 3 holes on each wing to allow for you to attach the bracket to the outside of the ledger. Note that when installing the ledger bracket to the outside of the blank S-ledger, just like with the pre-cut ledger, you'll want to keep the angle side of the bracket facing down. Also be sure to mount it flat when attaching the bracket using 6 of our Evolution self-tapping screws. Then secure the end of your joist to the ledger bracket using Evolution self-tapping screws on each side to finish this attachment process. You can repeat this process as needed in cases where you need a ledger and bracket setup for non-standard joist spacing. Now let's take a look at how to deal with another joist spacing situation, which involves using the 45-degree angled bracket in combination with the blank ledger. This type of situation will commonly occur when the back surface of the mounting structure makes a sudden angled shift by 45 degrees. Utilizing a blank ledger in this situation can easily allow us to continue the standard on-center spacing that was used throughout the deck. We can do this by utilizing the 45-degree angled bracket. This bracket has 6 pre-tapped holes to help us attach our Evolution self-tapping screws. You'll also notice that this bracket has angles on the top and bottom. This is so that you can easily utilize the bracket to angle joists in left or right-facing angled applications as needed. To attach the 45-degree angled bracket to the blank S-ledger, simply position it as needed so that you can maintain proper joist spacing in your build. Then use 6 of our Evolution self-tapping screws to attach it to the S-ledger. The bracket will then be ready to receive an Evolution joist that has been mitered with a 45-degree angle. Once you have the joist slid over the bracket, you'll secure it to the bracket with a few more Evolution self-tapping screws. You'll continue to repeat this process until you've filled the angled section of deck. And this is how you can utilize the blank S-ledger with our ledger brackets to overcome 45-degree angles and situations that have a lot of non-standard spacing, allowing you to easily finish out the framing portion of your deck build. For more information on our steel deck framing products, including where to buy, stop by our website at fortressbp.com/framing. And don't forget to check out our other Evolution steel framing videos as we continue to help our customers steal the show.